Okay, guys, so this is your story for Monday, the 18th January and Tuesday, the 19th of January. It is in your Treasury C book and it is on page 52. So, our story is called The First Lighthouse, and this story is about ancient Egypt. So, if you remember back in November, we were learning about ancient Egypt. So, there's things that come up in this story that we never spoke about. So, you're going to learn a few new things about ancient Egypt. Okay, so if everybody is ready to follow along on page 52. The First Lighthouse. Over 2,000 years ago, work began on the world's first lighthouse. The order to build it came from the King of Egypt. He wanted to be the first, the biggest, and the best lighthouse in the world. Thousands of workers were brought to a small island off the coast of Egypt, where the lighthouse was to be placed. It was to be many years before their work was finished. First, they had to lay down a large square building on which to put the lighthouse tower. When the tower was finished, it stood over 150 metres high. It had 8 sides and was built of white marble. At the top of this great tower was the lantern of the lighthouse. And on top of the lantern was placed a huge bronze statue of the sun god. What a sight it must have been. By day and by night, a bright fire was kept burning in the round lantern of the lighthouse. Wood for the fire was carried to the top by means of a lift which went up through the centre of the tower. It was a lift worked by water power, another invention of the clever Egyptians. But the most brilliant idea of all was the way they used a big mirror to reflect the light from the fire out across the sea. It was said that the light could be seen for 45 kilometres. During the day, the Great White Lighthouse was a fine landmark for any sailors at sea. During the night, the powerful beam of light helped to guide ships and to warn them of the rocks along the coast. Egypt's lighthouse became known all over the ancient world and was listed as one of the 7 wonders of the world. It stood for almost 1,500 years. Finally, it was destroyed by an earthquake. There's hardly a trace of the lighthouse left today.